Today's devotional is entitled The Blessing of Suffering. The scripture is Psalm 119, verses 71 and 2. It was good for me to be afflicted, that I might learn your decrees. The law from your mouth is more precious to me than thousands of pieces of gold and silver. Recently I attended a Sunday service at a fine evangelical church and enjoyed the sermon that beautifully developed Christ from the Old Testament story of David and Goliath in 1 Samuel 17. The people were very friendly and I felt welcome among them. Following the service, I left, but not before being greeted by a number of people who had known me from a former church where I had preached. Upon seeing me for the first time with a cane, their love for me caused them to express concern for my well-being. I thanked them for their desire to see me well, and then quoted our verse for today. As we conversed, it occurred to me that they might think I was flippant about my medical issue. So I shifted the focus of the conversation around to speaking about the blessing of suffering. In our evangelical churches today, there can be an unhealthy aversion to any form of suffering or adversity. Now, we all recognize that every one of us is programmed from birth to avoid harm, and this is a gift from our Creator. We need to protect ourselves from every way we can from any form or threat of danger. Having said that, I still believe that adversity has many benefits to the child of God that cannot be obtained any other way. For example, in 2 Corinthians 12, Paul speaks very clearly about the blessing of suffering. Listen to what he said so long ago. Therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger from Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. 2 Corinthians 12, 7-10. Paul believed that he was a sinner who could be enticed into conceit because of the many spiritual blessings poured out on him. After 3 special times of prayer for relief from the thorn in the flesh, he realized that God was ultimately behind his difficulties. The thorn in his flesh came to prevent sin. The Lord desired to keep his servant Paul humble. Satan's desire was to destroy Paul spiritually, and so God allowed Satan to send a messenger to, as Paul said, torment him. Satan, half-wit that he is, thought the thorn in the flesh would discourage Paul and get him to cease his ministry. God arranged for Satan's action against Paul to be the very thing to draw Paul closer to him. Christian, never lose sight of the fact that all hell can break loose around the child of God, and all that will result is the coming of the superabundance of God's amazing grace. We shall overcome though death and hell obstruct the way. Learn with the psalmist to say today, it was good for me that I was afflicted, and search the scriptures to learn more about the blessing of suffering.